I'm Bill Bland, and this is 5 Minute Money. And today we have one of our viewers has asked us a question. Bill, should I buy a house or a condo as my first investment? I want to live in it, and I want to be able to get the shelter and the tax deductions and all those good things, but should I get a house even though it would be a smaller house or in a maybe not a more desirable area, or should I get a condo that might be a little cheaper but has more amenities? What makes more sense? Okay, that's a really good question. Houses and condos are both obviously great shelter. They also will give you the tax deductions that you want. If you're living in them, you can get the tax deduction for the interest rate. If you're not living in it, you can get what's called deferred maintenance, or it's a write-off that will shelter your income if it is a rental property. Now, here are the pros and the cons as I see them. I would always rather have a house than a condo for a few reasons. One, a house, and especially if you're not living in a planned community development, a house, you can do things to it to help increase the value of it. You can paint it whatever color you want. You can landscape it however you like. You can add a second story on, or bump out a back room for make your family room larger, or put a new porch on it, or put siding on it, or whatever's good in your neighborhood or your area, whatever it is that makes the most sense. Now, that's one of the things that I like about it. Obviously, there are some amenity things that you're not getting. If you have a pool, you have to do your own maintenance on a pool, where if you're in a condo, you might have an association pool where you can enjoy it when you care to and not. But let me show you some problems with having a condo versus a house. One, HOA. Hopefully you can see that, your homeowners association. If you have a homeowners association, you have some issues to think through and to decide. Number one, if you buy a condo and your homeowners association is, say, $195 a month. Well, that $195 a month for that condo is kind of offset for the price of the monthly payment on the house. You have to add it obviously to whatever your monthly cost is to keep that property, to live in it, or to hold it. So at $195 a month, that might not be a big deal. You know, $195 might be just fine. However, what if, even before you got there, the homeowners association, people on the board, what if they mismanaged the money or embezzled it worse? So your $195 a month goes to $285 a month. Now, $285 a month, what does that do to your condo? One, obviously, is more money you got to pull out of your pocket. But secondly, and maybe more importantly, as an investment, that will keep the value of your condo, of your property, down. Because when somebody else wants to buy a piece of property, they've got to decide what it's going to cost for them to hold it. $195 might be what the other condos in the area are going for their HOA. But yours at $285 makes your property much less desirable. So it makes it harder to sell, and it keeps your value down. So to make it more desirable, you can't allow your house to go up with the market. You may have to keep your house artificially cheaper, your condo artificially cheaper, in order to be able to sell it. That's not the worst problem. That is not the worst problem by far. What if you're trying to time the market and you're trying to get out of a deal at a certain time? The properties are going up, interest rates are down, it's a great time to sell the property. You've got your eye on this little house over here you want to move into, your wife loves, whatever. Here's a problem. Let's say there's 100 units in your condo development. Okay, there's 100 units. And you're number 14. Okay, your condo is number 14. Let's say in number 57, they have a birthday party for a 6-year-old. And they have a whole bunch of other 6-year-olds. And one of them drowns in the pool because nobody was watching them. Bumps their head. If that person drowns in the pool, here's what happens. You have litigation that's going to go ahead and take place. And if you have litigation that's going to take place, nobody is going to lend on that condo for you to be able to sell that condo. So you're trying to sell it, you're number 14 or you're number 14 and you had nothing to do with that, but because the entire homeowners association is being sued, you are a partner unwittingly in a situation where there's a wrongful death cause, and now no lender is going to lend on it. That litigation can go on for 2 or 3 years. You are trapped in that property without being able to sell it for that 2 or 3 years while that's happening. That's not the only problem that can happen. Have you ever heard of a special assessment? One time we bought a condo in Santa Ana, California as an investment property, and there was a termite work that ended up being done that the association decided to do, and the fencing around the pool was rusty and they decided to work on that. What ended up happening was they decided to assess all of us $4,000 more. Unexpected, didn't budget for it, and if we didn't pay, they give us a certain day, like maybe 2 months out, you have to pay that $4,000. If you don't have that $4,000, they'll put a lien on your property, okay? And that lien can get interest and cause you all types of grief and problems. So what I'm saying is, if you have a choice, they can all work for you, but if you have a choice, pick the crappier house than the nice condo if it's going to be an investment property. Unless you plan on living there forever and you don't care about being partners with all these other people, then so that you have freedom to come and move as you want, you can fix up the house however you want to do it, get a house instead of a condo. It just makes more sense whenever possible. At least that's what I would do. This is Bill Bland for 5 Minute Money.